Hey, Shalom Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Brakathum to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Elatah Ba'ashim Yahushai to the sisters. This is the ISUPK case out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander John Yohana. And this is the Tuesday Las Vegas Brotherhood class. Let's give it up for the Lord. A little hand to the Lord, right? So as the title says, you understand it says the title is One Body, One West. So what my objective is today for me to teach y'all is to show y'all, of course, scripturally, how there's only one body, and that one body, like basically there isn't a bunch of camps. You understand? The concept of having multiple camps, having multiple schools, fake Israelites, etc. You understand? This is something that's been going on for a long time. But of course, we all understand that there's only one truth. You understand? There's one body. There's one truth, and quite frankly, that's found here in 1 West. You understand? I'm gonna pull that out scripturally for y'all to see, to learn for yourselves. All right. Before we get into that, I'm just gonna ask that y'all do your part to make sure that you like and share the class. Make sure that you go on to our YouTube, ISUPK Nevada, right? Hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you also hit the bell so that you get all our notifications. You understand? We're doing all types of little short videos. We're doing interviews. You understand? You can get a sneak peek glimpse of all the activities that we're doing. You understand? Like how we're passing out clothes to our people. You understand? Our food drives and stuff like that. You can actually see the work that we're putting in. You understand? We're not like the Christian churches where we're just saying how you need to have what's the word they say? Good. What is it? They basically try to tell you need to have good works, but TD Jakes is over there being TD Jakes with men behind the scenes, right? You understand? There is no good works behind that. He's just, all of his works are nothing but lustful. You understand? Here in the ISUPK, we actually show the good works that we do for our people because we actually continue on the work that Yahweh Shah Mashiach, or Jesus Christ, as the world ignorantly knows him as in English. You understand? We continue his work. You understand? So yeah, make sure that y'all go on to our YouTube, ISUPK Nevada. Salakia, it's not ISUPK Nevada no more. It's Las Vegas Israelites, Salakia. Make sure that you go on to YouTube, Las Vegas Israelites. Subscribe, hit the little bell button, and then make sure that you jump over to Facebook. That's ISUPK Las Vegas. You understand? And like our Facebook page. You understand? Of course, there'll be even more content on there, pictures, videos. You understand? Like when we're doing our function with the high holy days and whatnot, like y'all can really get a good glimpse of what we're doing, when we functioning together, right? While y'all are doing that, myself as well. If there's anybody that's online that has any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. I will answer them to the best of my ability scripturally. If I'm unable to do so myself, I'll let you know, and I'll write down your question and take it to a man that's mightier than myself. You understand? Point to that being is we're not like the Christian church where you can ask them and the best answer they'll give you is pray about it. You understand? Or just trust God's will. You understand? We're not going to sit here and do a dance and a song to, get away from your questions. You understand? We can actually answer your questions here in the ISUPK. You understand? Sometimes you just got to wait for it a little bit because I don't know everything. But so make sure that y'all do that. Are there any questions in the classroom? All right. You got any questions? So just you? All right, give me 1 second. Just hold your question until I finish liking and sharing myself. All right, hit me out.
I just wanted to know, in John 3:14, is that a reference to Numbers 21:7? Right? Because when you read it, it says that.
So go ahead and hop over to John 3:14. You said.
All
right, let me get there on my phone. John 3:14. Go ahead and read it when you got it.
The book of St. John, chapter 3, and verse number 14.
Uh-huh.
And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
Okay. And then your cross reference was
Numbers chapter 21, starting at verse 7.
Okay, so you're talking about the serpent that they put up when they were getting bit by snakes. All right, go ahead and read that when you got it.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 21, and verse number 7.
Okay.
It says, therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that you may take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people.
Okay. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. Verse 9. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived.
Okay. So, and your question is that a precept for that?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So, in John 3:14 reads again, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. So now, how is the question that should be asked? How that I'm asking you now, right? Why is it that what is the correlation between the two?
So when I read it, because it says, let's go back to what it says right here. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so the Son of Man be lifted up, because we know that Moses was dealing with the Israelites.
Okay.
So when it says, so the same way the Son of Man should be lifted up, the world likes to say, everybody's pertaining to this, but we have to look at it as the same way Moses did it is the same way it's saying that the same way the Son of Man is going to be doing it. He's only going to be doing it for the Israelites, right? He's only when you go down to verse 16 is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. So as for the Israelites, okay, yeah. But what other way does that also pertain as well, though? What is the correlation between the two of them? Because you are right, especially when you go down to verse 16. Because I'm sure it sounds like you're actually familiar with the proper John 3:16 breakdown. That when you go to the beginning of the chapter, it lets you know that what's his name, Nicodemus, right? Is it Nicodemus or is it Nostradamus? I always get the two mixed up. I don't know why. It's Dave Chappelle show, that's why. But he was going to Yahushua in private, right? And of course, he was a Pharisee of the Jews, which means he was a leader of the Israelites at that time. And he was going to Yahushua in private on how to deal with them. So you're familiar with that. And of course, you jump down to 16, but we can deal with just verse 14 directly and go straight into Numbers, basically like what you did, because verse 14 is actually a heavy verse in itself. All right. Because, and now, do you know why though? Okay. So like how it says here, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, now he lifted up the serpent for what reason? Now, go ahead. Okay, so you say because they sinned, but there's actually more to that than that. What do you think it is, though? Think about also the time period that the Israelites are in, as far as how do I want to put this? How do I want to put this question? Or put my question without giving you the answer. Think about the time period. Think about what has transpired so far, especially with the trials and tribulations since they've been going, wandering through the wilderness, right? What reason do you think that serpent was risen up in the first place?
I want to say rebellion. They always complained to the Lord. They always complained to Moses and Aaron about why they got to serve the Most High when they was having it good in Egypt. Okay, so you're there, but you're not, because they wasn't necessarily complaining about why we have to serve the Most High. It was more of why did I give up this life where I was I had 3 hots and a cot. You understand? It might have sucked because I was getting beaten, but as long as I did my work, I was good. You know what I'm saying? Versus now, you got me wandering in the wilderness where I got to eat maybe every other day. I'm getting bare minimum water. Why am I struggling when, shit was plush back there? You know what I'm saying? That was the issue. So when they were having those issues, what were they doing in the midst of that actually got them to almost get back in line?
Now don't think too much into what I just said at that last part, but I'm gonna leave the question like that, and then after you answer, I'll clarify what I meant, because that might be a little bit misleading at first.
So I'm gonna just be honest, I don't even know.
All right, no sweat. So, like, take for example when Moses went up went up Mount Sinai to go and deal with the Most High, right? What did the Israelites do? What did Aaron and the Israelites do? And during that time,
They built a calf or something.
right, a golden calf. So they built up an idol, right? So now, why did they build up an idol? And of course, they started cutting themselves, doing the whole ritual, whoop. But why did they do that?
I'm gonna say they didn't have no patience, because wasn't he up there for like 40?
Yeah, he was up there for a time period, right? I don't remember exactly what the time period was.
Gave up and just went to another.
Okay.
Call of God.
Right. So, but the point is, when we're dealing with these scriptures, right, is they respond to an idol. They respond to an idol that they rise up. So that's literally what that serpent is. Because the real question is, do you think that serpent, that Moses, really had any type of significance? Because now they're coming to him saying, oh, well, I have sinned, I've erred. And so, now these snakes are biting me, right? Whereas, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, especially at this time period, you don't have to worry about being bit. You can walk through the snakes, you're not going to be bit, right? But of course, they're going to the left. So now they're getting bit, right? And the only thing that in their mind, mind you, in their mind, is that if there is some sort of idol for me to walk past, touch, pray to, something like that, I'll be cleansed. Instead of just simply doing what, though? Going to the Lord, but doing what in particular? Going to the Lord. Okay. There's a specific word, though. Because, technically, they've been working on this word since the time of the exit of Egypt, since the exodus of Egypt. But what was it? Repenting. They needed to repent. So as long as you just simply repented, you go to the Lord, like you said, and repented. Now, what did it say? And the Lord, therefore, the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he may take away the serpents from us. So now they're going to Moses, depending all on Moses, when in reality, what can you do? Of course, you're supposed to go to the Levitical priest on counsel on what you should do. But what is it that you should do? You pray to the Lord and you repent. You understand? It's on you. You get what I'm saying? So now, of course, now you go back to John 3:14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. So who is the Son of Man? It's Yahushua. So Yahushua is being risen up for what? For us. Exactly. We have something to look at to repent. You understand? We see his actions, what he actually did, and we repent after that. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Answer your question?
Yes, sir.
All right, Most High Christ. Was that it?
I also have another question. I just want to know, are we in the new covenant or are we still in the old covenant?
Okay. Give me more to your question.
Because, been in this walk, I've heard people say, well, we're in the new covenant. And I'm just like, what does that mean? Like, because I know that we only made a covenant with the Most High God.
Right.
Where's the distinction? Where's the two? What is another covenant?
Okay. How want I ask this question? So to answer you directly, are we in a new covenant? Yeah, because we broke the old covenant. Okay. That's actually why the Most High is not even dealing with us personally in the first place. We require a mediator. Who's the mediator? It's Yahushua. Exactly. Right? That's the only way we can deal with the Most High, is through this new covenant that has been made and established, where we have to go through Yahushua as our mediator. Because mind you, what was the old covenant? What was the original covenant that we had made with the Most High? Was for us to be what? It was for us to be kings and for us to be gods on this earth. And you find that in Psalms, right? So but we broke that by being disobedient. You understand? So Now, because we time and time again, was being disobedient, we was, coveting against our brother, we was shedding blood with our own brothers, right? Now that pushed us it pushed the Most High to the point where it's like, all right, man, I'm done dealing with y'all. So now this new covenant that is being established is through Yahushua. You understand? Or the new covenant will be established when Yahushua returns. But are you asking, are we still under the law?
I know we're under the law for sure.
Okay, but there is a new covenant though.
Yes.
Right, and that new covenant is going to be only under Yahushua as our leader, as the one and only leader, instead of how we have like the Levitical priests. And, you get what I mean? Okay. So you understand the answer to your question? All right, Most High in Christ. Did you have any more?
Yes. Is water baptism necessary for salvation?
Let me ask you this, right? You had a long day at work.
Mm-hmm.
You had a long day at your slavery, right? Mm-hmm. And, maybe you had to, you got sweaty, it's like you got sweaty, you was working hard, busting your tail. You finally get home. What's one of the first things that you want to do when you get home?
Take a shower.
You want to take a shower. How do you feel when you take a shower?
Clean, more tired.
You feel clean. You feel, more tired, but you feel clean. That you feel refreshed. You feel almost like a new person almost, right?
Okay.
Ain't that the same thing as being that water baptism? Right. But now, of course, let's keep in mind what did even John the Baptist say?
That one greater is coming and he's going to baptize you with fire.
Pull it. You use Google if you like, but if you know exactly where to go to, the Most High in Christ. Oh, and these are excellent, by the way. I didn't realize. I thought they were going to be smaller. No, these are excellent. Most High in Christ.
It's the book of St. Matthew, chapter 3, and verse number 11.
I
indeed baptize you with water unto repentance.
Okay, so this is who's speaking right here?
John.
So it's John. John is baptizing you with water for repentance, right? Go ahead.
But he that cometh after me.
Who?
But he that cometh after me.
So there's someone that's going to come after John. Go ahead.
Is mightier than I.
Right.
Whose shoes I am not worthy to bear.
So there's someone that's going to come after John that is greater than him. And he knows this. He recognizes this. Go ahead.
He shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost. And with fire.
With the Holy. So, okay. So first of all, when you see Holy Spirit, all right, just replace ghost with spirit. But he's going to baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. So, in other words, what is being said right there?
Basically, he's Yahushua, when he comes, he's going to baptize you basically with his word. Because I'm from my understanding of John chapter 6, the Spirit is the word. So if you're saying he's going to baptize you with the Holy Ghost, that's him baptizing you with the word, and that's how you change, by applying his word to your life.
Is that how you change?
I mean, this is our guidance. So.
Okay, so you received the word, right? Now, everybody's damn near received the word. Or like for example, since what our topic is today is, identifying the fact that, these fake break-off groups has been going on since the Old Testament, right? They received the word, right? But so are they changing? Did they change? But what actually creates the change?
By becoming a new creature in Christ.
How does that happen?
By applying his commandments to your life, and actually.
There's more to it. It's actually you read it.
By being baptized with the Holy Ghost and with fire.
It's the Holy Spirit. That's the word. So you receive the word, and then also being baptized with the fire. But what is the fire though? So we know that John was dunking people, right? Oh, now I'm fresh and clean. I even brought my Irish Spring. I smell good too in this river water, right? So you coming up a wet homosexual today, right? Alternative lifestyle, Salaki. Good thing we're not on TikTok, right? But what is the fire though? Because clearly that's something different in it. So what's the fire then? We know the Holy Spirit is the word, but what's the fire?
I would say trials and tribulations.
Okay, so give me more. Mind you, okay, so I also want to say this as well. When I'm asking questions, pretend I'm a dumb Christian. I understand that you're asking questions, but I'm asking questions right back as a dumb Christian, and I want you to lay it down as flat as possible. Okay, so trials and tribulations. All right, so what do you mean? I mean, hell, it's a trial and tribulation to take try to breathe while I was underwater. Miss the past one, let me get up.
So trial and tribulations as far as like your day-to-day life, like the Most High can put you through things throughout the day. Like you can lose your car, you can lose your job, you can lose anything, and you have to still be able to take it cheerfully and still cleave unto the Lord instead of losing your faith. Right, you have to go through those fires, those trials.
Okay. All right. Hey, Shalom Yahal, Shamari, Latoba, Shimi outside. Sis, it's good to see you in the class. Okay. Now you're not wrong. Losing your car, losing your job, your girl, what have you. You're not wrong about that. Of course, those are trials and tribulations. But losing those things, is that going to necessarily make you stronger for the Lord? Any stronger, any weaker for the Lord? I mean, of course, if you a weak person, period, like of course you don't, oh, I lost my job, I lost my girl, I can't serve the Lord. Like, okay, you weak, we don't even want you anyway. Salaki. Are you cold? Are you sure? You can scoot closer if you need to, or move that back. Okay. You sure? All right. But you have to think, okay, what is the purpose of the fire? Do you know?
To just test you.
All right. Let's go to where is this? Is it Ecclesiasticus? You have an Apocrypha? I know it's in the Apocrypha. Is it Second Esdras or is it Esdras or is it? I think it's Ecclesiasticus. Hold on, let me find it. Okay, the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2. Is that the one I wanted? No, that's not it. Hold on. Salakia. Furnace of adversity. Where is that? Hold on, Salakia. Go ahead.
I think it is Sirach 2.
Ecclesiasticus 2?
Verse 5.
Yep, there you go. Go ahead and read it when you got it.
It's the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, and verse number 5.
Uh-huh.
For gold is tried in the fire.
So gold is tried in the fire, right? Now, what does even the Most High compare us to? The men, his sons, finer than gold, right? Now, of course, we understand that to get pure gold, y'all understand how they mine for gold ore? Just to make it really quick, you'll have little chips of gold ore in the rock inside the mountain, and you basically just with a pickaxe or whatever you're using, you get a big old clump, and you'll have a big old clump this big, and most of that, like maybe like this much of it is gold. You'll take that big old clump and you'll go and put it in the furnace and burn all the impurities so that you just get that one piece of gold. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and read on.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 2 from verse 5.
Uh-huh.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Right. So now you understand what you just read right there, right? Especially with and how it correlates to your question. So how is it that? Why is it that the water baptism is what was your question exactly again? So I could say.
Basically, is water baptism something we need for salvation?
Okay, so tell me why water salvation isn't needed for baptism?
Because water baptism, you can dump yourself in there, but you ain't gonna truly change if you're not being through the fire. Like if you're not going through the adversity, like the Most High and how Shah's gonna put in you, right? Because anybody can get dumped, and right, you come back up, and then you can go on and live a sinful life.
Think about how many times Christians get baptized.
I've done it. I've been baptized in Seventh-day Adventist, and it did not change. It made me worse, actually.
Right. Now, were you baptized more than one time?
Once.
Just once? Have you heard of those Christians that I got to go get baptized again. I need a new slate. It's like, dude, you just taking a dirty public jacuzzi bath.
Right.
That's all you doing. You soaking in everybody else's crusty feet water. Like, that's disgusting.
Right.
It's a locky. I don't even think they put chlorine in there. You know what I'm saying? So that water baptism isn't doing anything.
Right.
And even John the Baptist understood that and knew that when Yahushua came later, there was something else that was going to be done with the water baptism that Yahushua was going to do. And that was that, of course, he was going to give us the word. And that word was going to, how do you say, not convict, not entice. We'll say it'll stir up your spirit to where where it puts you in a position to where, okay, I know I need to stop smoking weed. I know I need to stop celebrating Christmas. We got New Year's coming up. I know the Lord says I need not to do this. This is a way of the heathen, right? So those are those impurities of it, that's the impurities that is attached to the gold that needs to be burned off. Does that make sense? So that's what the fire is, because just think about it when you first start coming into the truth, right? Oh, I gotta stop smoking. I ain't gonna put you out there. Like for me, one of my biggest demons was smoking. And when even weed, I was able to quit weed like real easy. It was tobacco. Because like when I was in East House military, I used to put dip in and smoke a cigarette. Then after I was done with a cigarette, I'd probably go get me a Black and Mild. Like I was bad. I was terribly bad, right? So, and anybody knows that I had any type of addiction, it's physically painful to stop doing whatever addiction it is. You understand? But that was me burning in the fire. Now, I mean, you can, like we was just at the strip this past weekend, right? People were smoking around, people are smoking around us, stuff like that. We're walking around like that doesn't faze me. But there was a time where it was like, oh, damn, like I gotta stay strong. You understand? But I have burnt that impurity off of me. You understand? Go ahead.
The fire is basically anything that you had a strong addiction to. Because you changed your life with Christ, that fire was able to knock that off, that addiction that you had.
Wait. So like, say that one more time.
So like the fire is basically whatever addiction you had. Once you go through that fire, is to help you knock that addiction that you have off. As far as smoking.
No, the first line. So it's the Holy Spirit. You have the word. That's you understanding whatever it is, what the truth is. Right. This is what you're supposed to do. The law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? This is what you need to obey. This is what you need to follow. This is the lifestyle that you need to have to walk. Right? Did you swap? All right, both sides correct. The fire, on the other hand, is you going through that time period of you quitting. You understand? Are you going to hold on to that? How do you say that that carnal mountain, or are you going to allow the carnal mountain burn off of you so you can be that pure gold, actually finer than that pure gold? Does that make sense? All right. Sister asked, Salakia, the fire is to strengthen you, to get rid of the old man and become new, purified. Right. It's, that fire is just, it's kind of, actually the best way to really put it, the best example is literally what we all have to do together as a nation every year. And that's the Day of Atonement. You understand? And there's nothing more difficult than denying your flesh something that, your flesh literally requires on quite a frequent basis, right? You can live a week without food and only 3 days without water, right? But you're doing 24 hours, sundown to sundown without either of them. And that is something, you struggle, right? But the point of you struggling is for you to realize that you really don't need these carnal things. You really don't need these worldly things. You are, you're above that. You understand? That's not the only thing that, will keep your body running. And in fact, do you know what it is that, since today is, the class for it, do you know what the one thing is that alleviates the pain during the Day of Atonement? Give the brother a hand. It's brotherhood. You understand? When you're enduring through the pain with somebody else, especially when it's the same exact thing, right? And you're going through it at the same exact time, right? It's not so bad when, you're embracing the suck with somebody else, pause. But you know what I'm saying? When somebody else is going through it with you, right? Because just paraphrasing, we're not going to pull it, but just like what the scripture says that it's better that two fall for one. One can pick up the other versus just the one. There's nobody to pick them up. You know what I'm saying?
It also says a friend is like a treasure. That's in the pocket for right. It says a friend is like a strong defense, a treasure. So
right.
Brotherhood is very important to have.
Exactly, and of course, that's the number one thing that we stress in the ISUPK is for us to have brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Because without the brotherhood, hell, I wouldn't be here. It was because a brother was being brotherly enough to say something to me about like what he was looking up, and while I was in East House military, and asked me to check it out too. So hold on, man, I've never heard this before. You know what I'm saying? Like, and of course that brotherhood keeps us strong in the path of which that we are going. You know what I'm saying? Did you have anything else? That's it. All right, Most High in Christ. Did you have anything? All right. So now we're gonna get into the topic, right? Like I said, the title is One Body, One West. I should have put One Body, One Truth, One West, but sometimes I'm not very smart. But anyways, so we're gonna start at the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 1. What we're going to be going over, like I said at the beginning of class, is I'm going to show y'all scripturally that these fake Israelite camps that y'all see today, like the purple. I might need to watch my mouth. The policemen, the purple policemen. What are they? The IUIC, the GOCC, HOCC. All those alternative lifestyle, wannabe Israelite, Christian camps. You understand? Those camps is nothing new. All right. To have that type of division is nothing new within Israel. All right. This action, and you're about to see when we read in the book of Numbers, chapter 16, that this is also something that even Moses dealt with. You understand? And if Lord allow, we have time, we'll also I'll also show you all examples of even how Yahushua had examples as well. So this is an issue that we have from cover to cover, and of course, everywhere in between. You understand? Where somebody is so prideful that they decide that they want to try and start their own camp, start their own system, whatever, create a knockoff brotherhood. You understand? When ultimately all it is they're just prideful and want power for themselves. You understand? And they don't want to be obedient to the Most High God. They want others to serve them. You understand? So go ahead and read that when you got it, Babu Kasha.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16, and verse number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now Korah, the son of Ishar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan.
There you go.
And Abram, and the son of Elad, and On, the son of Pelah, sons of Reuben, took men.
Okay.
Verse 2. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown.
So now when it's saying that, that it's 250 of the young of princes, right? Assembly famous in the congregation, men of renown. What is that saying? Yeah, these are well-known men. So it's not like it's just a bunch of just random people. Like these are men that are known within, the congregation of which Moses is leading right now, right? Go ahead and read on.
Verse number 3.
Uh-huh.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them.
Now, 1 second. Now, mind you, as we're reading and I'm asking some of these questions, I want you guys to, of course, keep one side of your brain focused on what we're actually reading, but then your other side, think about how that's relative to today. All right. So the fact that these men, mind you, these are men of renown. These are men that are known within the, I guess one way that you can say it is the Israelite community of today, right? They rose up against Moses and Aaron. How would you correlate that to today?
If I may.
Go ahead.
From the knowledge that I've been seeing, ISUPK has been here since 1969, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you have all these people who came from, one West, but now these renowned men are now wanting to get out and do their own thing,
right?
Instead of just being under one banner, under one brotherhood and serving the Lord, they decided to break off just so they can feel that power.
Right. Okay. So you're right about that. But what I'm talking about in particular is when it says, and they gather themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. So how does that pertain to today? Now you're right. These are like, you could just say these are the other fake camps, right? They rose up against Moses and Aaron. So today, who are they rising? Those fake camps rising up against today? All right, no sweat. Do you know? The generals. Now, okay. Now I gotta get familiar with the generals' names now. Okay. So of course you have Commander General Yohana, which is our 13 shield, our leader in the ISUPK, and then there's 12 shield General Mahayim, right? I mean, basically that's them coming up against Commander General Yohana and 12 shield General Mahayim. Because mind you, now I don't really see them too much because most of the time I delete people once I find out that you're in Sakari and stuff like that. Like I slick wipe them off of my Facebook because I mean, hell, especially if you left the truth to go and join them, which happens, it happens, right? That ain't no fishing. You left for a reason because you're a freaking coward, and you wanted to go and join something that fit your lusts. You know what I'm saying? But these other camps, what do they speak up against? They when they speak about the ISUPK in particular, who do they speak about? They don't talk about Captain Tazariak, Captain Katazov. Sure, they'll have little things to say about them. In fact, they have some of especially Captain Tazariak has some of the utmost respect, even from the Egypt swallogists and you know what I'm saying. A lot of these other fake camps and stuff like that. But when they do speak against the ISUPK, who do they speak up against? They speak up against Commander General Yohana and General Mahayim. That's basically in a sense. I'm not saying that they are these people, mind you, because some people get caught up in like, I'm Moses, I'm King David. How come nobody a garbage man though that was in Israel at those times? Like, why you gotta be somebody famous? You know what I'm saying? But equivalently, that's who they are. For the according to the time. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead and read on.
Reading on. And said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them.
Now, are you able to tell me what that sounds like in particular? And is also a reason why in all of our videos in the ISUPK, why we have the disclaimer that we are not affiliated with any other group. We're not affiliated with anybody. Can you tell me what this is literally saying in today's terms? You heard of the unity camps? Of course you did. Did 12 stones or whatever they would, you know what I'm saying? Like what? So at that point, I have to ask though, not like you directly, but just in general, what is the point of even breaking off if you want to do a unity camp? You want to be together, but you want to be together while you do your own thing. You understand like why I said what I said before? This is something of pride. This is something of pride and the fact that you want to be served and that you don't want to serve the Most High God. You think that you're better than the man that the Most High appointed. That's what you're saying when you go and start these other camps. When you go start your own camp. When you decide that you want to join these other camps. You are saying that the man that the Most High appointed over to be over you, to lead you, is not good enough to lead you. He's not good enough. That's what you're saying. Go ahead and read on.
And the Lord is among them. Wherefore, then lift ye upon yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
Now, of course, what is IUIC and all of them? What do they complain about? Oh, the ISUPK thinks that they're better than everybody else. Why can't we just all come together? That's the only time they want to talk about. Is it? I always get it mixed up. Is it Zephaniah or Zechariah? 2 and 1. Gather yourselves to Zephaniah. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Now, does that mean in unity camp? I mean, at what time? At what point did Moses ever say, "Hey, y'all, now this is what the Most High is telling me, but you go in that corner and whatever you do is what you do. You go in that corner, what you do is what you do." But on the third month, every 3 months, the first Saturday, we're all going to come together and we're going to have a unity. We're going to do a unity camp. We're going to have camp together and just show everybody that we are together. Y'all hear how stupid that sounds? How ridiculous that is? Instead of just, how about we just get under one goddamn banner like what the Most High had commanded us to do in the first place so that there is actually no division and you just shut the hell up and be obedient. Go ahead, read on.
Verse number 4.
Uh-huh.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
Uh-huh.
Verse 5. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Now, are you able to break that down in layman's terms? In layman's terms?
So basically what it's saying is, basically tomorrow the Lord is going to show you who actually his people is and who he chose to be holy.
Okay.
You're going to see by when the Lord show you.
All right, Most High Christ. All right, read on.
Verse number 6. This do take you censers, Korah and all his company.
Okay.
Verse 7. And put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord do choose, he shall be holy. And ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. All
right, break that one down for me. Verse 7.
Basically, like, yeah, I don't know.
No, sis, you want to take a stab at it? All right, no sweat. All right. So starting from verse 6, it says, "This dude take you censors," right? That's these bad boys right here. All right, Korah and all his company. So now, so Moses is basically saying, all of y'all that want to run with Korah, go ahead, grab you one of these. All right, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before. So, we generally, we have a, what is that called? Frankenmuir. What is it called? Frankenmuir. I can't.
Yeah.
Frankincense and myrrh. That's what we put in here, and that's what we burn. All right. So basically, that's what Moses is telling them to do. Just put incense in there, and light it up. All right. And then before the Lord tomorrow, and it shall be that the man whom the Lord doth choose, he shall be holy. You understand? So now Moses is saying, so y'all are gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. All right. And the Lord is gonna choose amongst the two of us. You understand? And then Moses he basically says back to Korah what Korah had said to him originally. He said, "Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi." Right? They said that to him, right? You take too much upon. Yeah, there you go. So Moses responded back. Now, do y'all think responded back with what was said to him? Now, do y'all know why Moses said that Korah is taking more than what he can handle, or Salaki, that they take too much upon himself? Do you know why?
I'm gonna say because he's trying to basically separate himself from who was already chosen. So he's taking all of this that he don't even have to take because it's already given to Moses to take that.
Okay. All right. So you're right, but there's something in specific, and you were on the right track, right? That you started to say, I just needed you to finish in that direction, Paul. I don't want to put this in as lame terms as possible. How do you think that Moses knows that Korah was taking more than what he can handle? He was trying to bite more than what he could chew. If you just put it as simple as possible, all the way down to the foundation. And I'll even give y'all a hint. When you're able to, that these fake Israelite camps don't have the truth, just based off of their brotherhood, how the fact that they left in the first place, but they how they conduct themselves. That'll be my hint, because I know that wasn't too telling. I guarantee y'all, if y'all pass it to me to give y'all the answer, y'all gonna be like, oh man, I knew it. You don't know? Want to take a stab at it? They're taking more. He's trying. Okay. So he says, "Ye take too much upon you." You don't know what you're asking for one. But two, this is too heavy of a burden. You don't even understand what you're doing in the first place. You're going against the brotherhood. You understand? You're trying to be a leader when you haven't even learned yet. You understand? You taking too much. You don't know what you're doing. And you're setting yourself up for failure. And I'm just trying to lead you. I'm just following orders and giving it to you. I'm understanding on the way. And all I'm doing is giving it to you. I just need you to do the same. But no, you don't even understand yet. And you're trying to take my position. You understand you understand?
It's beautiful that you said, because that's exactly how I feel for myself. Just like I was telling you brothers how I came from these different camps. But it's like, I want to be a student. I want to learn before I even do any of this. Like,
Right,
I
right.
just want to be obedient to the Lord and just show, myself approved by being where it started. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, right. And hey, let's give this young man a hand, man, for his humility. You understand? But I ain't gonna put the brother's story out there, but he did put me on some game of what how he came into coming into the UPK classes. And I'm just saying it's directly opposite of what these wicked brothers that we are reading about right now coming up against Moses. You understand, where the brother found humility, and like he just said, he wants to learn. You understand? So let's go ahead and read on verse 8. Y'all understand? You understand verse 7 now, right? All right, Most High Christ. Go ahead and read on.
Verse number 8. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear I pray you, ye sons of Levi, see it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel had separated you from the congregation of Israel.
Now hold on. Now what was it that I just explained though? No, so read that again from the top, verse 9. Seemeth it but?
Verse 9. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you.
A big thing.
A small thing.
An easy task.
A small thing unto you.
You understand? Moses is he's actually trying to give Korah some last minute brotherhood. Like, yo, you think this is a small thing that you're trying to do, and you are trying to divide us. Moses is letting him know what he is doing. And you think this is something small, and you're trying to do this in front of the Most High. And you think that this is a small thing. Like, this is okay. Right? Go ahead and read on.
That the God of Israel had separated you from the congregation of Israel. And
so, mind you, you think it's a small thing that even the Most High is going to separate you? He's separating you for the same quote unquote small thing that you was trying to do. So that same small thing that you was trying to do is being done to you. You understand? That separation is now being done to you, and it is not a small thing. Moses is saying this sarcastic. You know what I'm saying? You think it's small, but it's not. Go ahead and read on.
To bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
You understand? You're over here trying to separate us in front of everybody. In front of the Lord, you're gonna separate, and you think this is small. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 10. And he hath brought thee near to him, and all the brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also.
Now, mind you, okay, what is significant about this verse right here? Break down this verse for me.
It says, and he had brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also.
What is Levi's inheritance?
The Lord. He didn't get nothing.
It's the priesthood.
Yeah.
Levi doesn't get land and stuff. Their inheritance is to basically be able to have land within the other 11 tribes, but primarily they get the priesthood. That's their inheritance, right? So he had brought thee near to him. That's him bringing them near, because it was Levi that was basically the mediator, right? Instead of it being Yahushua, it was Levi being the mediator once we are established, right? And mind you as well, what tribe is Moses? He's a Levite. So of course it's only befitting, right? And all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also. So he's asking them, you brought, you're being brought near to the Lord. You're being brought near to the Lord with all your brothers, with all of us from the tribe of Levi, and you're going to seek after the priesthood. And this is how you're going to do it. While you're in the midst of you seeking the priesthood, your first act is to divide us. You get what I'm saying? Now, mind you, 1969 we was established here in the ISUPK under Commander John Yohana, right? Now, what was everybody doing when they came into the ISUPK? They were shedding themselves of the world, becoming priests and prophets of the Lord, right? Then, in the midst of that, what started to happen? They started to break off. They started to have them little stupid rumors amongst themselves, talking against, speaking against one another, diverting each other's minds to come up against the priesthood, to come up against, you understand, serving the Lord. And mind you, who are you doing that in front of? The Lord and the congregation and the people. You understand? Happening all over again, right? Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse number 11. For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron that you murmur against him?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12. And Moses sent to call the Dathan and Abram, the son of Elad, which said, we will not come up. Verse 13. It is a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us.
All right, so now break that down what you just read.
So it's basically saying, like, instead of splitting, we should be coming together in this land that the Lord has given us, and we need to be together as the prince that he commanded us to be.
Okay, so starting from verse 11, right? So it says, for which both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord, and what is Aaron that ye murmur against him? So now, this is Moses asking a question, right? Where, he's still going after them, that like, yo, you gathered these people together, right? For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together. So you gathered all of these people together, you understand, on this one accord, basically, right? And what is it that you're speaking against Aaron? He's asking him, like, and what rumors are you spreading about Aaron, right? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up. Now, this one I'm not 100% sure on, as far as them not coming up, as far as like facing Moses, because they're a part of, what is his name again? Korah's congregation. I'm not 100% sure on that. I can actually, if I can find my doggone pen. I have a pen right there. I usually have a pen right there. You got one? Is this one mine? What? This one's mine. I'm gonna make sure that I ask and get clarification on this one. What is this? Numbers 16 and what verse was that again?
Verse
12. Okay. All right. So I'm not 100% sure about that portion, but then we go into verse 13. It says, is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of a land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness? So now this is them responding back to Moses. All right. Because they're asking him, is it a small thing that you brought us into the wilderness? We were in a land that was flowing with milk and honey. You understand? Where we were basically fat, where we were getting our fill. You understand? To kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us. So basically they're asking him, like, so you did all of this so that we would just be at the mercy of you and you can rule over us? You understand? They're responding. Verse 14, go ahead.
Verse 14, moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey.
Now, remember, that's basically part of Moses's, what Moses was telling the people. Like, the Most High is going to put us into a land that floweth with milk and honey. and these people they're complaining about it. You understand? Which, and y'all can look this up on your own time. It's called the Y2K fallout. Jeremiah Hyman actually does a very thorough, heavy breakdown on the what broke all the camps apart, or it's like what broke everybody apart from us in the first place, right? And it's very similar to what just happened right here. Just to do a quick cliff note of what the breakdown was that Jeremiah Hyman goes in on. He basically, there was a time, going into go in the 90s, one of the high priests figured out exactly when Yahushua was going to return. All right. And, they started telling each other, teaching that and whatnot. That was part of I don't want to necessarily say doctrine is the correct word, but, that's what they were teaching. And they all believed it wholeheartedly. Right. Now, obviously, Yahushua didn't return, did he? I want to be here. You want to be here. Right. Because this was supposed to happen early 2000s. All right. It was basically because of that, that's when everybody started to split, on the buttload, damn near to what there was. I think it was Jeremiah Hyman, Commander General Yohana, Jeremiah Hyman, and then Jeremiah Hyman came later. No, I think it was actually just Commander General Yohana, and he just held it down and kept recruiting brothers. I think, like I said, find that breakdown yourself so you can get all the facts straight on that. But the point is that was that promised land, that land of promise of milk and honey. But mind you, just like with the story of Jonah, when he went to Nineveh, what happened? First of all, why did Jonah not even want to teach, go to have camp in Nineveh in the first place? Do y'all know why? Because Jonah knew that when he went into Nineveh and started to prophesy unto the people so that they would change their ways and come out of, their filth. Oh, you want your pen back? Salaki. Oh, okay. Most not correct. He knew that they would start to change their ways and would start following the Lord. And when that happened, he knew that the Most High was going to change his mind. That's why he didn't want to go. That's why he didn't want to do it. Because then that shame would come over him, just like literally what had transpired with the story of Jonah. You understand? Very similar thing goes on just right here again. And what we're also dealing with today. Now, there's also a following precept that goes with it that Commander Jeremiah Hyman does bring out. I only remember it not verbatim, but paraphrasing it. But basically, he said, the prophecy also was that there is going to be a strong house that comes together but falls, but the one that comes after is basically like the house that I will receive, or something along those lines. Like I said, look that up. I only remember bits and pieces of it in fullness. You know what I'm saying? I just know pretty much the cliff notes of it. Heavy breakdown, especially when coming off of this topic. Should have looked it up my doggone self and got a clarification, but it is one of those hard videos to find sometimes, right? But wait, which verse were we on? Salakia? 14, right? So that's literally what happened then. Hey, you prophesied when we left Egypt, the place of milk and honey, we was going to leave and go into our, we would have our own land and have our milk and honey, where it's ours, right? We rule over it. That's what they pressing Moses about. And like I said, same exact thing happened just not too long ago when all the camps split. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 14, moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that flows with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up.
Okay, so actually, see, there you go. We just answered our own, my question I wrote down earlier on verse 12. So, Dathan, Abiram, and Eliab, that they weren't coming up to deal with Moses. They were on the side of Korah, right? They weren't going to go up and side with Moses because, you gave us all these false promises. Even, they even went as far as like, are you going to, what did they say it with the eyes? Are you going to put out the eyes of these men? Like, how blind are you going to make them? How blind? How far are you going to lead them blindly? You understand? Because you're just taking us to the wilderness for us to go where? To do what? Just so you can rule over us? You understand? And of course, what do they say about Commander General Yohanan? Damn near the same exact thing. The Commander General Yohanan is some sort of crook. He's some sort of, they try to drag his name through the mud. But what all is Moses doing? What was commanded of him? You just don't like it. Right. You're just too prideful. You just don't want to be obedient. This is a you problem. This is not an issue with the leadership. This is not, the Most High did not make a mistake of what man to appoint. You understand? And of course, it happened again with commanding General Yohanan. You understand? And that's why these brothers try to go up against him. Go ahead.
Verse number 15.
Is this happening like when they're still in the wilderness, or is this after?
They're in the wilderness now. Okay. Yeah, they're in the wilderness currently. That's why they're saying that, like, like you told us that we're going to go into a land of milk and honey, and they're basically saying, but where's it at? Look where we're at. No, go ahead.
I'm just trying to piece together.
No sweat.
So is this before he starts to like kill half of them off, and then allows the second generation to what you refer to? Like, I'm trying to like paraphrase.
When he starts to kill them off, and then the second generation,
like they were supposed to go into war with like the giants. Like, do you remember what I'm talking about? And they were like scared to go, and he was like, "Go now," and then they didn't go, and so because they doubted God, he went and he went.
I think I remember what you're talking about. No, this is. I believe this is before. No, I think they already had their first war, a couple of wars.
Sorry, I'm just trying to.
No, you're fine. I'm not 100% on that, so I'm not gonna answer that, but I'll write it down and get it clarified. So this, I'll read this tonight, read over it tonight, and find out when they first had their first war, and then I'll timeline it for you, and then I'll get you your answer. All right. Because I know what you're talking about, where like they even get to the point where they're like basically numbering themselves to be like, okay, wait, hold on, we've only got 5,000, but they've got 15,000. You want us to go and fight 3-1? Like, we can't do this. And so because of that, the first day, the Most High let them get massacred, but then it was like when there was like only like a couple hundred or something like that, they were like, nah, I'm about it. I'll do it. I don't care how many of us there are. We'll go and fight. And on that day, there was like not a single Israelite that was killed, and they obliterated everybody. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I guess I'm just curious. Like, is this like the newer generation coming in that's like they witnessed their like, what would you call them?
No, okay. So you're asking which generation coming out of Egypt that we're dealing with right now?
Right, because if they witnessed their like, what would you call those forefathers? Like,
Uh-huh.
not trust God and then get like erased basically, and then here they are again.
Actually,
still like,
if I remember correctly, what you're talking about, I think that might be in Judges. Yeah, I believe that's in Judges where they start counting themselves and they're like, "Yo, we're outnumbered like 5-1 or 3-1." Like it's something ridiculous, and it was because of that, they got massacred, and then it was Joshua. Joshua, goes to the Lord and asks him, "Oh, like why are you letting us get obliterated?" Da, 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 da. Most High lets him know, like, that's because y'all not believing in me. Like, y'all want to, count in your numbers, man. F your numbers. Just believe in me. And then eventually he's like, look, take a small band of men, like something small. Like, I think it was like 500 people to the point where they were outnumbered to like 15-1 or 20-1. So just take them, ones that is ride or dies. Go take them and go handle it. And then they, like, not a single one of them died, and they obliterated like a couple thousand. Like, they're outnumbered like 15-1, 20-1. So that, if I remember correctly, that's in Judges. That story's in Judges. So Judges is when Joshua is leading Israel is after Moses dies. So Moses isn't even alive at that time. So to answer your question, this is way before. And as far as like generation, this is like give or take like the first generation of the exodus of Egypt. So like, and like you'll see, they're starting to, like, the Most High is literally swallowing them up with the earth and sending plagues on them and stuff like that because they don't want to listen to Moses. So like these are those stories right now that we're dealing with. And of course, what's relevant about the fact that they were being swallowed up and plagued and being destroyed at that time, with the correlation with the fake camps and whatnot with today, is they all have their own plague, a modern plague today that they're all being afflicted with. You get what I'm saying? Like some of these camps, and I know I say it all the time, I don't even know if they're around anymore, but GOCC, I know when I first came in, GOCC was slick kind of big, but then once they got exposed for the, they're like, oh yeah, what is it called when you think it's okay to deal with little kids? What is that? Pedophilia. They basically believed that it would be okay for them to marry like 8-year-old girls. Like as soon once they had their flower, they were of maritable age, and like that was part of their doctrine. But the earth opened up, received them, then closed. They're gone. Like you understand, like that metaphor, like that's literally what happened. You know what I'm saying? When you are committing wickedness, you will be consumed within your own wickedness. Because ultimately, pedophilia is something of what is of the world, and you'll be consumed of the world. The world will consume you. You get what I'm saying? Did I answer your question? So, are you good? Did you? I felt like you had there was something that you did ask that I didn't. That's all of it. You good? You sure? All right. Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Okay.
And Moses was very wroth and said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering.
See now, for anybody that tries to say that there's any issue with when Commander General Yohana would speak up against like IUIC, for example, because what were some of the issues that came out of IUIC, where not only were they literally try to bully, other camps. They try to bully the ISUPK. We just stand up for ourselves, right? But they were, in the midst of them bullying other people, they literally had a sister, Joy Morgan. Did you hear about her? All right. So they had a sister named Joy Morgan out there in the UK. Okay. So I'm not sure if you're tracking, but the IUIC believe that Hamites, or the so-called Africans, are Israelites, right? So they basically allowed Joy Morgan to be with this Hamite, right? Dude murders the sister, right? The way that the IUIC responds is just basically just denies him, damn near denies her, and then but the kicker is while she's already dead, she had automatic payments for tithes going to the IUIC. Never canceled it. They never canceled it. Her mother, even, like you can find these videos where her mother went online and whatnot, with the police and was like, yo, like, y'all wanted my daughter so bad. Y'all love my daughter, this, that, and the other. But okay, where's all the money though? She's been dead for, I think at this point, it was like almost a year, a little bit over a year. And she's like, but y'all keep on taking money out of, like, from my daughter. You understand? This is my, this is IUIC. This is what you're dealing with over there, right? So the IUIC sometimes tries to respond and say that we're unbrotherly when we convict other, the wicked of their wickedness. For you, hey, don't deal with these. These brothers are wicked. They're disgusting. They not only take advantage of, of women that come into their, into their fake camp, because I can't even call them a school, right? They're fake camp, but they've also got brothers who are going around having sex with transsexuals. Their leader is sending pictures of his rod to other men in the congregation, and apparently their wives as well. You understand? They've got several wicked occurrences within the camp, but yet they have the audacity to try to say that we're being unbrotherly for bringing these things to the light. But yet, is Moses being wicked for the fact that he's going to the Lord himself? Mind you, he's going to the Lord himself and saying, hey, not hey, Salaki. We all know he ain't talking to him like that, but he's, Salaki, Lord, do not accept their offering. These wicked bastards. I'm gonna let you know what they're doing. And this is what they're doing. And this is why you shouldn't accept it. Now, mind you as well, by the end of all of this, how does the Most High talk about Moses? He knows Moses, but how? In what way does the Most High say that he knew Moses? There's a particular relationship that the Most High described his relationship with Moses. And what was that word that he used?
At the time when that woman was talking about him on his back, and it's like, why would you talk about Moses? And that's my, you call him like I deal with him face to face, like,
okay, as a friend.
As a friend, right?
I deal with him as a friend. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if my God called me a friend, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, he calls us all his sons. Like, it's one thing to be somebody's son, but let's be real. There's always that little asshole son that you just, I can't stand you. Shut up. What you want? What do you want? I love you, but God damn it. You know what I'm saying? But that's both my sons. No, it's like, I'm just playing. But no, you know what I'm saying? But no, he's going out of his way to say that this is my friend. Like, take, for example, you my brother, right? I mean, that's by default. But for us to say, no, this is my friend, now is, exactly. This is something way heavier. You understand? Oh, Most High in Christ. You understand? Damn, I do this a lot sometimes. Where we at?
Verse 15.
15. Right. So, so y'all can't speak up against them, against Commander General Yohanan for doing what Moses did. Moses doing the same exact thing. Now, mind you, anything that you see in the ISUPK as a whole, as a general, it's what is seen and is being read in the Bible. Do you understand what I just said? Elaborate what I just said, though.
Anything that you guys do, it's coming straight from with the Lord, and it's telling you there ain't nothing that y'all just making up.
You understand what I'm saying? We're not just pulling things out of our ashes. We're not holding on to the world. You understand? We are doing what these priests and prophets have done throughout this great book. We are doing it. You understand? Now, what the IUIC is doing is what we're reading about right now when they're coming up against Moses. Y'all understand? When they came up against King David, when they went up against Yahushua Mashiach. There's several occurrences where, you understand, our own went up against their own, saying, you know what? We've got the spirit, we've got the truth, da 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 da. Like, okay, but you learned at my feet and then skedaddle to go do your own thing. So, like, yeah, you got a piece of it. I'll give you that. But, dude, yo, it's half-ass. That's like you shopping on Wish to get a Bible. That's IUIC. That's GOCC. That's all these other fake camps. You got a Wish Bible. You got a I wish I had the truth. You understand? All right, let's go ahead and read on. Almost on Christ says.
Reading on. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them.
Right? You understand? And it's the same exact thing with what's going on with Commander General Yohana. These brothers want to go up against Commander General Yohana, but and of course, we actually train. We train our hands to war. You understand? That's literally what Hebrew Academy is about. You see a brother that has one of these covers. You understand? These Hebrew Academy covers. His hands was trained to war according to the Lord. You understand? We have the ancient scrolls of our fighting technique and whatnot. You understand? Now, what is IUIC doing? Thinking that they can just punk us. Now, mind you, they go in almost 50 man deep and try to come up against, a small camp of 5 brothers. But you want to talk about unity. You want to talk about, we all need to come together, this, that, and the other. But why is it that you think it's okay for you to try to come up against us and try to punk us? Like we soft and scary, just because you got more numbers than we do. You understand? It's irrelevant. But the point that I'm trying to bring out is we actually train to fight, but not once has Commander General Yohana said, if you see one of these purple alternative lifestyle people, go and take ground. Go and beat them up. Go jump them. Go put them on their backs. Smash their skulls in. Never. You understand? Go mess with their camp equipment. Go and steal their chairs. Go steal their equipment. No, we don't touch. We don't bother you. You understand? Just like what Moses is saying right here. And Commander General Yohana is just as innocent and faultless as Moses is right here. Right? Where he's pleading with the Lord. Let him know, I have not taken one ass from them. I haven't taken nothing from them. Neither have I tried to even hurt one of them. You understand? So what they're trying to do against, I don't understand. It's a them problem. Like I said at the beginning, they are too prideful and want to be worshipped. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 16. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. And take every man his censer and put incense in them. And bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers. Thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer.
Yeah, so we all understand this, right? All right, go ahead.
Verse 18. And they took every man his censer and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron.
Now, if I may, just really quick, right? Do you realize how bold you have to be to say for you to come up against the man that led you out of the great grand Egypt, where you watched it get obliterated for your sake. The Red Sea be parted for your sake, to watch Pharaoh and his horsemen and the horse chariots to be swallowed by that same water that was just parted for your sake. Then manna come down from the sky, all of these miracles for your sake. You know how bold you have to be to go up against Moses, go up to him and say, you taking too much. You want to just rule over us and we should split this. And then Moses basically just, responds with, all right, look, this is what we're going to do to find out if the Lord is with me or is with you. And for you to accept that challenge, like, you want to talk about bold. I give it to him though, man. He got some cojones on him. Like that's wild. So like, go ahead and read on.
Come. Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
And then he's got a following. Like you, like, and like the Salaki. But you have a following. I think it's even worse that you got people who sat there and watched that, all of this happened for them, for their own sake, and then still say, you know what? Yeah, I want to change leaders. I need somebody to please explain that to me. Nobody knew anything about the Bible the way that the ISUPK taught the Bible prior to 1969, but yet people have the audacity to try to say that, you know what, I can be this leader. There could be different leaders. It's the same exact thing. Y'all understand what I'm trying to lay out? All right, go ahead and read on.
And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. Verse 20.
Well, I'll be shaking in my timbers.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
Man, listen, the most I said, listen, man, at that time, I've been here. You wanted this in? You can have two. Like, even if I was goofy enough to even like, it's Salakia, dude. Like, that's wild. That's just wild. But the Most High presented himself and said, man, y'all separate yourselves so that I know. Hold on. So this is those that ain't retarded. Y'all behind Moses. Okay, cool. So y'all over yonder. This is who y'all are. This y'all causing the problems. Read on. Let's find out what happened with them. Because he said I'm gonna consume them in a moment. Right? In a moment. Go ahead and read on. Let's find out how they consumed in a moment.
Verse 22. And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and will thou be wroth with all the congregation?
See, and this is actually a really heavy question to even ask in the first place, right? Who can tell me why?
Because we are one nation.
Okay.
So when one brother sins, it messes up all of us.
Okay. Can you give me more? Can you hold on? Okay, you're right about that, but there's something a little bit more than that. Were you raising your hand? I was about to be so proud. There's another direction I want you to go with that, and I want you to think about something that Yahushua has said. That's my hint. Now, of course, we're talking about one man and screws it up for everybody else. So what is that? That in a nutshell, what does that say that we need to have for one another? Okay, so brotherhood, right? Accountability. We should have accountability for one, because at the end of the day, we should police each other up, right? And of course, and this is why I was also going to, with Yahushua with this. Yahushua really taught us to have the law with brotherhood, right? But what is one thing, you're right, it says brotherhood is a weapon. But what is one thing that Yahushua has said pertaining to brotherhood that would fall directly with this. I want to see how much your them old boys actually taught you before. I'm very curious.
I don't know.
I want to see if the sister and Salaki, if I mispronounce this, Nizam Anna, 1 John 5:3. See, look, she was already ahead of the game. She wanted to participate in this class. Most High in Christ. Let's see, 1 John 5:3. Actually, pretty sure that's not where I wanted to go with that one. 5:3. Here it is. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. No, that is not where I wanted to go with that one. Right? Mind you, like what I said, it's what I'm looking for is something that Yahushua Mashiach said. Right? What our king said. And in a nutshell, it'll show you the spirit behind, the answer to this question that was just asked in verse 22. And since if you want to take another stab at it, Baba Kasha, I do encourage that. And for those, for the other brothers and sisters that are online, man, like it's always encouraged for y'all to participate in these classes. You understand? Always keep in mind that there is, you only have to ask if you feel like it is a dumb question. You only have to ask a dumb question only once. And best believe, I damn near say it every class when I try to encourage y'all to ask your questions. I am king of asking dumb questions because I don't give a damn. In that category, I have no shame, because when I want to know something, I'm gonna ask. I don't care how I look. I don't care how I sound. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? You think you got it?
Let me just throw something out.
All right, go ahead.
Come on, man. This is St. John, chapter 15, verse 12 and 13.
Okay.
It says, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you.
Okay.
Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends."
Man, that's close. That's for sure in the ballpark, man. That's close, extremely. Sis, you had your hand up. I seen it.
I don't know if it's right anymore.
Man, stop. Man, and that's another thing as well, y'all. Don't be afraid to be wrong. You understand? Because at the end of the day, life really is a video game at the end of the day, if you really think about it. You're going to go through these bosses, these hard parts of the game, and you know what? You're going to fail a million times, but with a lot of the things, you only got to get through the hard part once. Once you get through the hard part once, now you know what to do. Now the hard part is easy. Now it's on to the next challenge. You know what I'm saying? So come on.
Okay, so I have Leviticus 19 and 17.
Okay, let me hear it. Actually, no. Let me, young man, go ahead and get that Baba Shah Salagi. You right? Okay, hold on. See, almost stumped the teacher.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, and verse number 17. "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him."
I'll tell you closer than he was. I'll tell you was closer than he is. If y'all can find me the precept in the New Testament that Yahushua basically puts that in his own words. He says that something along. He says something like that. All right. It's not about rebuking, though. It's about brotherhood, but all of those are intertwined together. They're all intertwined together. Let's see where it's at exactly. Oh man, that's the craziest part. Reprove? What do you mean by reprove, sis? Man, I'll give you one more hint. Then for time's sake, I'll give y'all the answer, right? You actually brought this up this past weekend. When we was kicking it on Sunday, you brought this up. And it was when it was just me, you, and Bakar. See me one more time, Papa. It was me, you, and Bakar. I don't even think we brought the sticks out yet. We weren't even playing Madden yet. I think we were still watching the Miami and Dallas game. So no, say my mom, please. Do you want some? Okay, no sweat. Okay, I'm gonna give you when this minute ends. So you got 40 seconds now, and then I'm gonna just tell the water system, and then I'm gonna just tell you where to go. Man, I have faith in you. All right, go to the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 35, 9. And watch, you're going to read it. And you're going to be a little upset with yourself, and it's okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 39. Con.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22, and verse number 39.
I told you. Go ahead.
And the second is like unto, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So if you love yourself, if you love the Most High God enough, it's like it. If you love yourself enough, what are you going to naturally do? You're going to love. If you love yourself enough to preserve your life, is what I'm saying. Because sometimes that might be just a simple, what's the word? Motivator. The fact that you just don't want to die. I know that was a very big part for me. Hell, I think now I started off agnostic. I believed in a higher power, just didn't believe. I thought Christianity, I knew Christianity was BS. I thought the whole Bible was BS because I only knew the Christian portion of it. You know, I try to dive into Muslim. I try to dive into other philosophies and stuff like that. It all just, there's too much BS in it, right? So I was just agnostic. I didn't even know who or what I was praying to in Afghanistan because I'll admit I was scared doodle-less. Like I was scared. And hell, quite frankly, nobody can tell me any different. The Lord heard my prayer and called me on it. You let me come home alive, and I'll do whatever you want me to do. And hell, I got called to become a priest. That's a locker. Give the Lord a hand for saving my doggone life. It's a locker. You understand? So of course, that was part of my motivation. Now, my motivation as I started to learn who I was, what I am, you understand? That motivation expanded to where now I'm not necessarily just worried about my own life. I'm worried about your life, and I'm worried about your life. I'm worried about the lives of my people. You understand? So now, if I'm worried about your life, when you sin, you're about to sin. Lord allow, of course, I'm not putting this on you. I'm gonna take it up. There's a brother or a sister, right? Lord allow they're strong enough to stop themselves and think for a second. You know what? Thinking about picking up a cigarette, thinking about picking up a blunt, going to get me a bump of coke, or money is really hard right now, so let me go dance on a pole, or what I'm saying, whatever the sin may be. Lord allow that brother or sister is strong enough to pick up the phone and talk to a brother, Let somebody know that, hey, I'm thinking about doing something hard right now. Or so like I'm thinking about doing something that would offend the Lord to where I would sin. Me allowing myself to be available to that brother or sister is showing that I love them, that I love like how I would love myself. Because at the end of the day, ask Shabal. I call Shabal 3 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes we talk from like 3 o'clock in the morning to almost like 10 a.m. Sometimes, like we will talk. Now, of course, that's kind of his work schedule time frame, but still, you know what I'm saying. When I go through it, I hit up Shabal. You know what I'm saying? And that type of brotherhood is important to have because not only it shows that you love your brother more or as you love yourself. That their life is important, just like your life is important. You're not being selfish and just worried about yourself. That's having accountability of your nation. You understand? And quite frankly, there could be a time that somebody hits you up on some like, hey, I'm going through X, Y, and Z. Like, man, I need some ABC. Man, so lucky. I ain't got ABC, but I can be an ear, or I can link you up with a brother that has the ABC. Has the ABCs for you. You know what I'm saying? Has whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever kind of actual guidance that you need, I can get that for you. But if you just simply need an ear, and this is something that I have no experience with, hey, I can at least do that. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I'll get you the help. You understand what I'm saying? Accountability.
And if I may,
yeah, go ahead.
Just hearing that right there, definitely encourages me because there's a lot of nights, how we go through our, damn, I need money to pay this and pay that. And
right.
There's times where I'll have like the mindset of robbing,
Yeah.
And I have to literally, just get on my knees and pray. But now I know I can always pray and call a brother now because I'm a part of this now. I have those brothers who I can attend to just to get my mind off of that.
No, Most High Christ. Now, always remember that, of course, prayer is important. And this is one thing that, I always make sure that I'm always, I make sure that I tell myself, right? Just because you're doing one part, you got to remember that it's a two-piece combo. Yeah, you got to pray. Let the Most High know what it is that you need. Now, of course, he already knows. The point is to make sure that you ask, though, right? But what did Paul say? Faith without works is dead. So if you just sitting there praying to the Lord, hey, Lord, Salakia, can you please help me? I'm about to come short on, this bill, that bill, food, whatever. And you just leave it at that. That's like trying to pray to the Lord that an apple tree is just gonna sprout up out of this dead soil. Exactly. Like the Most High is some sort of a genie. It's not the case. You understand? Of course, let the Lord know what it is that you want, but you go put in, your due diligence to make sure that this can actually happen. And that's you putting aside your pride of Salakia. I can figure this out for myself. I got a plan. I can go rob. I can go, sell some dope, whatever it is. I can go pimp a sister out, whatever it is, right? No, I'm gonna let the Lord know that I do need some help. And in the meantime, when I do that, I'm gonna hit the brothers up right after. I'm gonna hit the brothers up. Hey, Salaki, man, actually not the brothers. You contact your camp leader, all right? Because one thing I don't believe that you should put all your business out there. Of course, it's your business. You can you're entitled to include whomever, but in my opinion, it's always just wiser. Go to your camp leader, or if you're a woman, your husband, your father, the man over you, right? Go to him. Let him know what it, hey man, it's locky, sir. Whoa, man, like blah, like it's my situation. And guess what's going to happen? Mind you, what kind of man are you talking to? This is a man of the Lord. A solution will be found. You get what I'm saying? Your problem will be solved. Sometimes you might just have to be a little bit late though. You might just have to have a little extra patience. Have a extra little sweat bead. You know what I'm saying? Where and the brothers even come through and pay for the late fee and whatever it is that you needed, and sometimes even a little bit more, and then hit you with you ain't got to pay it back, bro. Just get your shit straight. You understand that? And I'm literally talking from experience. I've seen it. I've literally seen it with my own eyes. You understand? You got to do your part. We all accountable for each other. You understand? Because when we're not accountable for each other, I mean, hell, we going into, that question was just presented that what is the whole nation going to be, punished for just one sinner? We're about to get the answer, right? But we know where it's going. You understand? Let's go ahead and get that answer.
This is Numbers chapter 16 and verse number 23.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram.
Uh-huh.
And Moses rose up and went unto the Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins.
Man, their offense was so great that you can't even touch any of their belongings. And we've in time we'll read more stories on just like how important it is to just simply be obedient to the Most High God, because there's stories in the Old Testament of where the Most High said, like, you need to go through and like any of the riches that are there on this land that I'm telling you to go and destroy, like if you take any of that, I'm gonna deal with you. All of it needs to be destroyed. And of course, there's always that little stiff-necked, hard-headed ass nigga. Oh, that's a little bit too pretty. I need that on my wrist. I need that on my finger. I need that on my toofuses. And then because of that goofy, they losing buku battles, like not wars, buku battles, until they found out about them. Now you nodding your head saying, Khan, let us know what happened to that family. What happened to that family? They all got put to death. That how do you say, that bloodline, that family line, gone. Made an example of. You understand? Go ahead and read on.
Gone. Verse number 26.
Mm-hmm.
So like verse number 27.
Uh-huh.
So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children.
Man, listen. Ain't no room in the world of the Most High for wickedness, for wicked people. You understand? And just like, even when, like what Yahushua said, like, you are just like your father before you. You understand? That seed, your seed, a man's seed is a lot more powerful than people in the world really give credit. You understand? Because that seed, a man's seed literally carries on his spirit. You understand? Just for those of y'all, it's like it. For those of y'all that have children, just think of the time when your child was just, how would I say, just mindlessly them. And think about what I mean by mindlessly them. They don't know what they're doing. They just being them. You understand? And especially if you were fortunate enough to have pictures, videos or anything like that of how you of who and how you were as a child, or at least got to hear stories of how you were and who you were as a child, and you look at your little one and compare and contrast. Mind you, this is a mindless creature. You know, little bastards. I'm just playing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they 2 years old. Mine's 2. I'm just playing. But I got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. They do little things that I'm just like, yo, my mom and dad used to tell me about how I used to do this crap. And they just exploring, but they're exploring the way that you did. They don't know no better. It's not like I said, hey, listen, you can find out if you're afraid of heights if you just start climbing on stuff. No, you know what I did? I used to climb up. My auntie had these big old pine trees in the backyard that were about like 25 feet high. What me and my cousin used to do, we were 3 months and 10 days apart. We used to climb up on the trees right next to each other, go to the very top, and throw pine cones at each other, trying to knock each other off. My 2-year-old son damn near does the same exact thing. He don't know that story. He don't even understand the story if I told him. You understand? Now, do you understand the significance of that comparison to this verse that we just read on why the Lord has no room for any type of wicked children? I don't care. You ain't do nothing yet. I know what your little badass is going to do. I'm not even going to give you the chance. You are your father's son, daughter, what have you. You understand? So, of course, the Lord ain't going to let that continue on. Not in his house. You understand? Not in his nation. Go ahead and read on.
Verse number 28. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works. For I have not done them of my own mind. So, in other words, everybody just witnessed what just happened. What is about to happen to these wicked families that tried to come up against Moses, who was appointed by the Most High himself. You understand? The Most High found him suitable, found him worthy to lead his people, his nation of people. You understand? Most High said, you know what? I'm going to deal with it. I got you, Moses. You did the right thing. You came to me. You know what? I'm having my angels deal with this nonsense. And Moses is now in the position where, hey, y'all done heard this. They told us to move our shit to the right. Watch that shit to the left. It had nothing to do with me. You know who is with the Lord. Because time and time again, y'all failing. Just listen. Same thing with Commander John Yohanan. You understand? With the ISUPK. Y'all want to keep coming up against this school. Mind you, we a school. We not even a camp. We have camp on Saturdays. We a school. So that your goofy asses can learn who the hell y'all are. Who the hell y'all are. So that y'all can learn about your culture, your history, how you're supposed to live your life so that you can actually please the Lord, because you sure as hell claim that you love God. But like what the sister did bring out, 1 John 5:3, if read that for me just real quick. Hold your place right there and then read 1 John 5:3, right? Everybody wants to claim that they love the Most High God, but of course, a sister, somebody in the school, especially a sister, right? And of course, she's a wife of an officer of 5,000, I believe that she said. Let me scroll up and see, confirm that. Yeah, she's an officer. She's a wife of an officer of 5,000, so of course she knows. You understand? His house serves the Lord. You understand? She knows what loving the Most High God is, right? Go ahead and read it when you got it, Baba Shah. Book of 1 John, chapter 5, and verse number 3. Mm-hmm. For this is the love of God.
For this is how we all show that we love God, right? Go ahead.
That we keep his commandments.
Now we just listen.
That we keep his commandments.
We just think about it.
that we keep his commandments.
Please read about it.
That we keep his commandments.
Yeah, you keep his goddamn commandments. Go ahead.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And that's the best part about it. It's not even grievous. Y'all ever thought about how grievous it is to follow these laws here in America? How stupid a lot of these things are out here, right? But yet, I mean, I'm not saying that everybody's been arrested. I'm not saying that nobody's been arrested. You understand? But think about the fact that you sure as hell were able to clean yourself up so that you can sit in one of these classes. You can keep yourself right so that you can be in one of these classes, whether you've ever been arrested or not. You understand? You could have been arrested 1,000 doggone times, the years in prison, whatever. Guess what? You're out and you're in class, which means you can at least have time periods where you can shut the hell up and just obey and do the right thing according to a set of laws. You understand? So, hey, guess what? These laws ain't that bad. It's really not that bad. It's going to be different. It's going to be a bit of a change. Like what we talked about, earlier with the brother's question. You understand? Yeah, you might have to go through that furnace and it's going to be a little uncomfortable. Fire is, hell, y'all let me know what color of fire is comfortable and nice to the touch. But you know what? Eventually that jacuzzi feels just right. Y'all get what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse number 29. If these men die in the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord have not sent me.
So do you understand what he just said right there?
Basically saying like, if these people don't die, how I said it was supposed to be done, and the Lord didn't send me. The Lord did not do it.
So if these men die the common death of all men, or if they were visited after the visitation of all men. So in other words, if you die of old age, or you die of, somebody murdered you, then the Lord did not send me. This is what Moses is wagering. Right? And so like, just like with Elijah, like I kind of like it when some of these prophets, like, they get down, like, hey, y'all niggas, look, this is the wager. I love it when they wager like this, that boldness, right? Go ahead and read on.
Go on. Verse number 30. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open up her mouth.
Now he even was specific with what the other side would be. Go ahead.
And swallow them up.
So we know one side is if a man kills them by his own hand, or they die of old age, sickness, the common cold, whatever, man, the Lord didn't send me. But if the Lord did send me, then these wicked bastards the earth is going to open and swallow them whole. Read on.
With all the appertaining unto them, and they go down.
Appertain. You know what that word means? Appertain is like anything that belongs to him.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit. Then you shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
So in other words, if this happens, if A happens, the Lord's not with me. The Lord didn't send me. But if B happens, and B was pretty doggone specific. If B happens, then y'all know what time it is, and y'all need to shut the hell up and get in line, God damn it, because I'm just trying to do the work that I was ordered to do. And y'all trying to make it difficult. Read on.
Verse 31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. So in other words,
Almost immediately after the doggone wager was even established, he damn near said that these men have provoked the Lord. Earth started to shake because it was coming apart. Read on.
Verse 32. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up and their houses and all the men that appertain unto Korah and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed up them upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
You understand? How much longer do y'all really want to play with not only just the Most High, first and foremost, but secondly, the man that he ordained to lead our people? Now, mind you, do y'all know what the difference is between Commander John Yohana and Moses as far as today? And this is not me saying that, just as a disclosure, because, some people like to make clips and stuff like that. This is not me trying to say that Commander John Yohana is above Moses in any way. You understand? But do y'all know what the difference is between Moses and Commander John Yohana currently?
Difference?
Yeah, what is the difference?
It's in different tribes.
Okay. I'll kick you in the shin for me. Just think about it like this. From what we've already just read, and then what you would be able to compare from what we've read to Commander John Yohana. There is no difference. No, there is a difference. Because of course, now there is no difference when you're talking in the aspect of the fact that, he's got his own people coming up against him when all he's trying to do is just lead his people from the position of which, was given to him, right? But with that being said, and what we've read, what would you say is the difference? And we kind of touched on it earlier, just a tad bit, to where it should wrap right back around. The example that I gave earlier, I damn near don't even want to tell you. I want to make sure that y'all paying attention. See, look, you got a notepad, book, you even got a desk. You should have been taking those out. It's too late for that. What do you think? What is the difference between the two? Let me give y'all till I find the security announcements. Where is it? It should be in this area. Did he send it to me later? No. I gotta be overlooking it. What do y'all think? Think about what we literally just read.
Power that Moses had.
What do you mean?
Or he can literally say at that moment, if the floor opens up, her whole mouth, and it happened just like that.
Okay, you're leaning in the right direction. I'll say that. Do I not have the security announcements anymore? Did they get deleted? Just think about it. Reread the last maybe 8 verses we just read. And then think about what we talked about earlier. Doggone it, man. I think I did delete it on accident like a goofy. Shoot. See, somebody wants y'all to answer this question, so. Because once there it is. Found it. Now you reading through it, so I'll give you a chance. What did Moses do that Commander General Yohana hasn't done? And has the right to do so with the fact that these fake camps keep coming up against him, challenging him, his authority, and everything that he is teaching that he is ordained to do.
Tell the Lord not to take their offerings.
Not to take their offerings, but what else? Like I said, last 8 verses, within the last 8 verses.
You can challenge them saying who was the, let's see who was anointed instead of a censor.
That's already kind of going on. Literally has already been going on. That's also why we continuously we challenge them to, hey, come on, let's set up a platform where it doesn't even have to be our platform. We can have formal debates. Like Kevin Tazariak is pretty much the ISUPK. He is the Israelite debate champion, period. He's beaten everybody. He's respected across all platforms. Even with like the white supremacist communities, they recognize him. He's in, what's his name? Is it Killstream Hall of Fame or whatever? It's some white dude that be having like buku KKK and Aryan Brotherhood dudes. Like he rocked Kevin Tazariak because he be putting them white boys in place. You know what I'm saying? But just for time's sake, what it is Commander General Yohana is not asking the Lord to destroy these people. Commander General Yohana is not asking the Lord to get, to destroy them. What is he doing though? He's being merciful and giving them brotherhood. Because right now is high time. Right now is like is not the time to play. Like we're not about to have another iteration of slavery and where we figure our stuff out and stuff like that. Like this is it. Just like what the prophecy says is that for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the world that begins soon after. So we're at the end of Esau's world. So Commander General Yohana knows that. And just because that the scripture says, and I don't know what you was taught on this, and so I'll actually talk about it, just really quick. That whole 1/3, 2/3 thing, just like what I brought up earlier about with the book of Jonah, the story of Jonah, where the Lord told him, prophesy for, the world is I'm going to destroy you guys in 30 days. But then what ended up happening? He didn't. He changed his mind because his people began to serve him, right? We have the opportunity to change the Most High God's mind from saying 2/3 will be destroyed and only 1/3 will have salvation to all of us will have salvation. If you are caught up in a 1/3, 2/3 doctrine, you don't know the scriptures. You don't know brotherhood. You do not know the law. You do not love Christ. You do not love the Most High. You do not love your people. You are selfish. You're selfish because you're only in it for those that will think like you and act like you. Instead of going out of your way to take the time to give your brother mercy so that they can have time to figure it out. To figure out that, you know what, I did F up. It's literally the parable of the prodigal son. The father never just said, all right, now F him. You understand? That is brotherhood. That right there is brotherhood. That right there is what Christ stood for. That right there is what Christ died for. That right there is what Christ established for us to continue on. You understand? Just like when Christ had finished his fast and the devil was coming to him to tempt him. And he was like, oh, you know, you can fall off this mountain. And like, you even know that the angels will come and save you, will keep you from falling to your death. Right? But Christ said, man, I'm not going to tempt the Lord. Woo. But the point is, okay, I've got the command. Point is, that also lets you know that Christ knew, the devil and Christ both knew that he had the power to command those angels right then and right now, right then and there. So in other words, if Yahushua really wanted to, he could have wiped humanity off the face of the earth at that very moment, if that's what he had chosen. But would that have been the Lord's will? Like, y'all understand this? It's about abiding to the Most High's will. You understand? And that's why the title is one body, supposed to say one truth, and one West. Yeah, you understand? So real quick, we're going to hit the security announcements. All right. This is ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, Ma'asharah, which means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of any penny, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory, but it can be whatsoever amount you would like. Up Holy Convocation, get with your respective camp leader for any information on the upcoming Holy Convocation. I believe right now we're just prepping for thank you, the water, for Passover, right? So if you have any questions, bring that up to your respective camp leaders. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, Men of Israel, Imajim, which means to stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. All right. So we're going to do this step by step, right? I'm going to instruct you. So, Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. There you go. Imajim Barak Yahaba Hashem Yahushai Barakatah. Yadamatah, so hands down. Now, Sar, which means turn, face the sister. Imagine. So now we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak Yahweh Shamar Ilatah Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Do you have it? Yadamatah, class dismissed.